Have you ever wondered where chocolate really comes from? Not from a factory, but from this. Today I'm taking you deep inside a real cocoa farm. From plucking fresh cacao pods to breaking them open. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at chocolate the same way again. So let's begin the cocoa trail.
Let us take a tour of how cacao is grown. Currently, I'm standing in the state of Karnataka near Mangalore at Varanasi farms. Now, cacao is usually grown in the tropical regions, right? Above and below 10 degrees from the equator. So, cacao is something which requires humidity, and the cacao plants they can't take direct sunlight. So here in South India, in the state of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, usually cacao belts are there, and these cacao trees they are grown under the shade of coconut trees, areca nut, palm trees, all these big trees, and they get 50% sunlight. Like the sunlight is filtered and they fall, the sunlight falls on the cacao trees, and that is how it is grown and the fruit bears. If there is 100% sunlight coming on this plant, then the plant will grow, but it will not bear fruits. So now let me just take you on a tour of this particular farm. So they are a organic certified farm, and they're using this regenerative farming where a lot of micronutrients are feeded in the soil, and the compost is made in a very natural and organic manner. And the layers of the soil, it's very healthy. So whatever nutrients the plant is getting from the soil to grow, it's very natural and organic. No pesticides or insecticides is being used here in this farm. So let me just take you on a tour of the plantations of the cacao. You can see behind me, I'm standing in front of cacao plant. So there are cacao trees, and you will feel like it's a jungle because that's how this farm is supposed to be. And on that plant you can spot some cacao pods. And if I have to show you, so these are all areca nut trees giving shade to these plants. Now let's walk in a little deeper and see. So usually here they have a weekly cycle of cacao pod harvesting, and since that has been recently done, so we are not going to see very ripe pods today, but yeah. So you can see these pods. I just want to show you how they grow. So if you can see, they grow directly on the trunk like this. And I also want to show you the flowers. So a lot of flowers are there on the trunk, and you can see these are the flowers from which the cacao pods are going to grow big. But whatever the plant bears, the flowers, I mean only 30 to 35% are going to bear fruits. The rest they kind of shed off during because of the climate, and not all the flowers they kind of bear the fruit. So now how do we pluck the pod? So let me just take you around. Let me just find one ripe cacao pod and show you okay what's the method of plucking it. So there are many pods here, as you can see, but they are all green, like camouflaged with the leaves. And I have spotted a jackfruit tree also. Yes, this farm has jackfruit as well. And this one, no, it's not ripe, it's quite raw. I'm just checking this one. I've spotted few here. Let us just harvest this one. So if I have to pluck this pod, I can't just pull it because it's going to shake the tree and the flowers are going to fall down. So I just have to twist it, and I'll twist it like this till the pod comes in my hand. So this is how the harvesting of the pods is done. So like any other formula or any other recipe, so if you suppose want to create a very good dish. So of course you will be looking for best quality ingredients to cook your dish. In the same way, if you really want to make a good quality chocolate, you would be taking very good quality cacao beans. So for that, one needs to understand how is it grown, and most importantly, how is the fermentation process going to take place, because in the fermentation process, a lot of flavor notes are developed, a lot of acids they evaporate, and a lot of chemical reaction is happening. And if that is done properly, that is going to define like a part of it, that's going to define how your chocolate is going to taste like. So for that, we visit farms, we check the produce, we see the fermentation process. And thankfully, because of the awareness and the availability and the people of the farms inviting tourists and the chocolate manufacturers, they are inviting them with open hands to see the produce. And that is how they are also getting a fair charge for the good quality produce they are making. So yeah, it is quite an important part of the journey. So I just want to like cut open the cacao pod and show the one which we have just plugged. How does it look from inside? So let us just open this pod. Okay. So as you can see, like the shell, it is quite thick, and then there is fruit inside. So cacao beans coated with this white pulp. And earlier in ancient times, actually this white pulp was consumed like a fruit, and the seed, that is the cacao bean, it was just thrown away like any other seed of any fruit that we do. And then by fluke, like by accident, it was discovered that there is a chemical reaction that takes place inside the cacao bean, and when you add sugar to it, it actually tastes good. And that is how it was called food of gods, because only the privileged ones could eat that. So now in the fermentation process, this white pulp that you can see, so this pulp, it just flows away, and it usually takes like between 6 to 7 days for the fermentation to get complete, when you have actually your beans where all the pulp has naturally flown away. So it's a very important method, because there is like I told you, there is a chemical reaction that goes in the fermentation process, and the heat, the temperature, it rises, and a lot of acids are there, because this white pulp has a lot of acid, and you can't consume a lot of it also, because it is too acidic. So that is what all evaporates during the fermentation process, and which is a very important process.
What an incredible journey this has been. This experience reminded me that every chocolate has a story of farmers' hard work, nature, patience, and craftsmanship. I hope this video helped you see chocolate from a completely new perspective. If you enjoyed coming along on this cacao trail with me, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because there is so much more to explore in the world of chocolate. And remember, every great chocolate begins at the farm.